Hello, Jara.
Hello.
Welcome to our
Hello.
105th show.
105th?
It's pretty
Did you
amazing,
freeze?
huh?
Oh, I'm on the freeze. It is. I totally forgot about the time change. So maybe we should do a short show tonight, and then maybe we should start doing it earlier because I forgot about the people that watch us that are 3 hours ahead of us now.
Right. We will. We should do that.
Yeah, because that is pretty late to expect it to come on at midnight.
Right.
So I forgot the time change. Although he might, is he 2 hours ahead of us now, or is he? I think he's 2 hours ahead of us
I
because I
think
think
he's
he
too.
was an hour. Yeah. So, but people that are in Florida are on the East Coast. They're 3. So
Right.
they're 3. So hello everybody. So how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just trucking along over here, doing everything I got to do. Um,
Cool.
Not much. I don't have anything exciting really going on, but I guess that's good.
Yeah, that is good. There's yeah, we don't need exciting right now. We
Yeah,
don't need that.
we've had
There's a
enough of
lot of
that. I think we've
exciting in
had
the
enough.
world, so that's good enough. The excitement that the world is having. Although I haven't really paid attention to the world, so I don't know what's going on right now, if there is anything.
You know what we should try
Yeah.
to do? We should try to see if the belly dancing comes up, if we can put it on this.
Oh, on live right now?
Well,
Like see
maybe
if
not.
we can watch it together, you mean? Like to
Yeah.
see if we could okay.
Let's see
Um
if we can watch it together. Hold on. How do I do this again? Share screen?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
And then wait, so
And
what'd you do?
then,
How'd you share screen? Oh, somebody's watching.
oh,
We're
hello, somebody.
experimenting right now. We're live experimenting.
Do you see my screen yet? You don't see it, huh?
Uh-uh. What
Okay,
is
let's
this
see. What do
demo
I do?
scene? Oh, there they went. And there they went. What is that
And
demo
they're
scene
gone.
1 and 2?
Where?
Over here, like with these 2 things over here. I'm over here,
On
like
the
you
right?
can see what I'm doing.
That is,
So if I put that, okay, that's it. How we go then? Okay. So like, can we put it right here? Like, what is?
oh, I see. Okay.
Because this was us this way, and you click on demo scene 1, show on stage, that's this way, and then this is demo scene 2, but I don't know what we
Try
put
it,
in
dude.
this.
Go to present, and then,
Share screen. Okay, so
is it working?
should I share? Hang on. I'm trying to
Your
figure
browser
out
has
how to
screen. Click on the screen icon
share
on the left hand
window.
to allow
Okay.
access.
Uh,
Oh,
oh, okay. So then I could go to. I don't know if we could do it though live because would it be copyright or something if we? I mean, we wouldn't do it live, obviously. We would do this.
yeah.
Well, what would we do? How would we use StreamYard if it was just us doing it? Or would we use
We
Zoom?
could use StreamYard, or we could use what's the other one?
I mean, if we used
Zoom.
StreamYard, we could record it if we got rid of some of our other. Um,
On Zoom, we could record it for sure.
um,
We could. Did you
and
know we
if
could even do the show from Zoom?
yeah, I think I did know that because I've seen other people do that. Oops, wait, but then I can't see. Hang on. Then I can't see you though, so that won't work.
Oh, okay. So that doesn't
You,
work then, huh?
I don't think so. Wait, unless I can share a different way. Hang on, let me see. Share. Oh, if I had No, that wouldn't work. Yeah, because if I'm sharing my screen, it'll show what I'm looking at. Or wait, I think we would be able to do it on Zoom somehow. Or I don't know, dude. I don't know. I guess I didn't think that through very well.
Oh, can you? What do you see now? Am I sharing my screen?
Uh-uh.
I'm
Oh,
not.
I just added it. Now you are. Now you are.
Hold on. Let's see. Where is the belly dancing girl? What is it called again?
Belly motions.
Portia.
And she's awesome, by the way. If this somehow gets back to her. We really like your.
Maybe she'll come over here and give us a private class.
If I could ever get over there for a class, we need to call Naj, because that'd be awesome. It'd be cool to do maybe that would help my back.
So I sat for the persecution imprint call,
Can
and
you
the
hear
morning
it?
after that call, I woke up
Yeah.
and I felt literally.
All right, we're going to get started. My beauties at home, my cuties in-house.
Sound?
Miss P, aka Miss Portia, also known
So I
as
guess
the
it would
female
work.
Richard Simmons with a coin belt. God bless his soul. He passed away. I'm so sad
Oh,
because I
wait,
wanted to meet
what's
him.
happening?
And now my dreams have,
What do you
now
mean?
my dreams have been
You
shattered.
don't see
God
it?
rest
Oh, my
his
bad.
soul. I loved him. Richard Simmons.
Yeah,
Do you
can you
know
hear
him?
it
Young
too?
people may not know him.
Yeah, I can.
Young
Can you
people
see
may not
it?
know
'Cause
him, but if you don't know him, Google him, because he was a force of nature in the aerobics world, and that's what I love.
are you able to
We
see
are
what I'm
recording
seeing?
in progress. It's Miss Portia. We are live.
Yeah.
You can't, because it's
Today,
playing
what's
on your
going on with
computer,
all these
right? So you can't
pom-poms?
see
What
it.
is all this color?
You
Today
can't
we're
see
going to
the one
do
of you and me
authentic
and
I can.
what's
Egyptian
playing.
dance.
Oh, you can?
We're going to perform movements
Oh, here's
and
Enzo.
dance with music.
Enzo
Yeah.
wants to belly
That's
dance with
called
us.
Saidi. Saidi is a rhythm.
Enzo, you want to
And
belly
it's a
He
dance?
wants to belly
style of
dance.
Yep.
Egyptian dance that's from the southern region of the
I got the
country,
biggest belly,
which is
so I'll be
known
the
as
best
El
dancer.
Sayed. Everybody's ready? Cross the arms. Inhale up.
Oh, man. That's
Oh, me
Tall,
and
your
Susie
spine.
did
Exhale,
this in
sit
her
down.
grassy knoll
Let's go. Open
area.
up those feet wide. Your back. I didn't
Oh,
scare you
oh.
last time. Good. Cuties at home.
Yep.
Let
We're
me
just
see.
having a good old time today. One more
We were
time.
just experimenting.
All the way up. Breathe with me.
Yep.
Now hands on your
It's
thigh.
really fun.
Spine roll down, down. Curl it up.
Up and down. Curl it up.
Heel tap. What does that mean? You see how I'm at a little bounce,
They're even dancing
little
back there. They're ready
buoyancy
to go.
going on? If you say pee, ain't gonna happen.
Oh, wow, they're
You
going
stay
with the.
solid. That is okay.
Look at that guy. He's all. Woo, woo, woo,
Little
woo,
heel
woo,
tap.
woo.
Did we do that one already?
On the ball.
I think we did do
On
that
the
one.
ball. Yep.
I have done that one anyway.
2
I
o'clock.
don't know
Check
if it
me
was
out.
with
Make
you
sure
or
we're
if I
not
did it by
here.
myself.
I think I have done
Just
this
do me a
one.
favor and lift your sternum.
Yeah, I think we
Just a
both
little
did this
bit.
one.
Can you add a little hop? Hop.
Is this your actual class, or these are just moves you do?
No,
Check me out.
it's thing that we do together sometimes that we watch on
Yes.
YouTube.
And
Oh, okay.
shimmy, reset, and breathe. Good. Exhale.
We know how to do that.
Build.
We know how to do that. We can shimmy,
Squeeze. Plie, releve, tuck.
Shimmy.
Lift, roll.
shimmy, shimmy, shimmy.
Doom, doom. Doom.
This is like in our routine though when she does the dip
Drop.
thing with her
Drop.
shoulders.
Saidi. Doom, tack.
You know what I'm talking about, Susie?
Doom, tack.
How's it?
Doom, doom. Doom, doom, doom. Saidi. Other side. Change. 5.
Yeah, she's really good.
Doom.
Okay, we can probably stop now. People probably don't want to watch it.
Drop, drop. Hear it?
Okay.
Hear it?
But it makes me want to do a lesson right now.
It makes me want to do it too. I want to dance so bad.
I know. I really, really
Too.
miss
I'm trying to
belly
stop it in
dancing class.
the background though.
My back and my foot's better though, so that's good. That hammer thing worked on my
What you got
foot.
going
That
on, Enzo?
hammer-
What's happening with you?
Just trying to survive because the weather is
What
out
hammer?
of control here right now.
It's what?
Just out of control. We've got like we just went into a wind warning that'll be until like 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Wind gusts up to like 60 miles per hour, and
Oh, wow.
there's actually a 50% chance of snow tomorrow afternoon.
And with that much wind? So
Yeah,
is that
it
like a
was nice.
blizzard? Is that what designates a blizzard, or what designates a blizzard?
No, there probably won't be much accumulation, but if the winds are blowing like that, it'll be zero accumulation here and 8 inches up against the wall where the wind blows it, kind of a thing.
Oh, right. So is this unusual weather for this time of year for you guys?
Snow this late in, we're in the last half of March. Snow is a little unusual, but winds for springtime around here are usually pretty crazy.
Are they? It's
Yeah.
been windy here too.
It's kind of cold outside.
Yeah, it's a little chilly outside today.
I just closed the window.
My garden's doing good though. That rain we had really greened up my veggies, and it made my watermelon sprout. I got 9 watermelon plants.
Watermelons, huh?
Yep. I'm gonna put watermelon and cantaloupe in my middle bed because it's a deeper
Nice.
bed.
Will they be ready
I
for July?
I hope, yeah. They hopefully, because last summer I planted them too late and they died because it got too hot. So when it's like 120 degrees outside, it's a little too hot for the veggies.
I was kind of wondering how well a watermelon, melons in general, probably I wouldn't think would do that well there unless you just
Right,
all the time.
right. I know. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that at all. And so
Cantaloupe
this
jerky.
is
on the
this
vine.
is my first go round with gardening. So like for instance, my grass is dead because I accidentally planted winter grass in the summer and was wondering why it wasn't growing, and then it started growing like 6 months later in the winter, and now it's dead again because it's not winter anymore. So I need to plant all year round grass. I didn't realize that there were different grasses.
I didn't know that either. Oh, there was a winter grass.
I guess there is. Well, that's what my aunt and uncle told me, so I believe them because they grow things. Yeah. And I pulled a carrot, and my carrot was about this little tiny
Little teeny thing. Do you grow like
yeah,
peppers and stuff like that, like spicy
yeah.
peppers and stuff?
I haven't spicy ones, but I have the seeds, so I'm gonna plant some. Yes. But right now, the stuff I have growing is sweet peppers, red, yellow, and green. I don't know which ones are which because I just took the seeds out of food I ate. And then I have carrots, marigold, basil, green onion, cabbage, and lettuce. Not iceberg, but like the leafy kind. So,
Yeah.
and watermelon.
Yeah. But we grew that kind of lettuce when I was a kid. When I was a kid growing up at home, we always had like a big garden, mostly because we had a bunch of kids at home, so it was just cheaper to have that.
Yeah, we did too.
Buying it. So, but
Yeah, we were like
We
that
had
too.
like zucchinis for days, remember?
Yep.
our big thing was summer squash. Both my parents loved.
Oh
summer
yeah, and squash. That's the other thing too.
and the yellow ones, and my mom would like slice them into little thin slices, roll them around in some flour and pan fry them. Man, that was good stuff.
Ooh, perhaps.
Right now, I
squash
just
is
made some cabbage and hamburger meat with onions and garlic and stuff. It was so good because I had a big old
Yeah,
head of
cabbage.
cabbage from.
Cabbage is good. I didn't think I would like it, but I do.
I love cabbage, except for it makes my husband and son fart a lot. It's gonna be bad tonight.
That's
It's
funny.
roughage. That's what it does.
It's roughage.
It tastes so good. I love cabbage.
Yeah, it is good. I know. I feel like I'm gonna feel some kind of way though about eating my vegetables because I kind of feel like they're my babies. you know. And I don't want to eat my babies.
Do you have enough to where it like will feed you once it's picking time? And then do you have like a plan for like doing any kind of canning or pickling or anything like that with
I do not have a plan. I should have one. I would like to. Well, I'd like to. I wanted to plant strawberries too because I would like to. I would like to actually make preserves. So, but there is carrots. Like they're pretty bushy on top. I don't know how big they are underneath. My uncle said not to pull them yet because they're still green. He said that his parents always waited till they started to turn like brown when they pulled stuff. So I don't know. I'm thinking that it's probably going to be a bunch of little tiny carrots because the very first time I tried to grow anything. So I'm not sure how. It looks like there'd be quite a bit though. I'm hoping. I don't know. I need to.
Where you live, you probably don't have to worry about like freezing temperatures or anything like that. So you can grow stuff year round. You don't need like a greenhouse during the winter or anything like that.
Well, if we do get frost warnings. So like I had a bunch of my corn and my pinto beans were doing good, and the frost took them, even though I covered them. So it can happen here, but yeah, you can pretty much grow stuff year round, except for I mean, there are plants that do well in the summer heat, but it gets really hot in the summer. So, you know, if whatever you're growing doesn't want or need direct sunlight, and
you need the opposite. You need whatever the opposite of a greenhouse would be that would keep it cool. Yeah.
Right.
Igloo.
So, but like right now, like stuff is loving stuff. In Flagstaff, though, in the winter we couldn't grow anything, but we had all kinds of gardens. We had a huge garden.
In Cottonwood, you can grow a lot of things.
Yeah, I bet you could, because that's more mild.
Yeah, in Camp Verde, that's where my grandparents had like a farm, and it was like for some reason everything under the sun they had grew really well.
Stuff grew as well in Reserve, New Mexico too, where my grandpa's land is at. My grandpa, his garden was huge. He had big old.
I remember all of us kids would get voluntold to help out with the green beans. I always grew a lot of green beans. They always had a ton of them to string all the green beans.
Yeah, I love doing that. That was fun for me as a kid. Like I like
breaking off the little tabs, breaking off the little stems. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, you break off a little stem, and then there's a string that runs along the side of it that you pull that out because you can't really chew through it or anything like that. You pull that string off and then just throw that away. Then my mom was like into canning and all that stuff, so we'd have that season's like green beans in December, that kind of stuff. So
yeah, we used to have 3 Golden Delicious apple trees in my front yard, and so we always had apples.
I've always wanted a cherry tree in my yard.
Oh, me too. My son's dad, his grandpa owned a cherry orchard, so there was like cherry trees just all over. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. We used to make apple butter.
Out of the country. Yep, apple butter. My mom would always do that. That was a big thing where I grew up. Anyways, a lot of places don't even know what that is. But
really,
do the red kind with the cinnamon and stuff in it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yes, we did.
There's some places where it's basically just applesauce, really, at that stage. But
oh no, it's like a brownish red color. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's how we did it.
Good stuff.
Yes, it is.
Buttered biscuit with a little red on there. That's good eats.
Buttered biscuit.
Yep. I know. My mom used to make biscuits with Bisquick. My
mom too.
Same thing.
And the Bisquick, the directions now, because I made them not that long ago, it just says to drop them by a spoonful, but my mom used to roll it out and do it with a cup. So I was like, how come it doesn't say to do it like that? I like the old directions. Yeah. My mom used to always make fried chicken when we'd go wood cutting too. Fried chicken and potato salad. Love fried chicken. I should make that. I haven't made that in a long time.
I don't think I've ever made fried chicken before.
You haven't?
My
No.
mom was big on chicken and dumplings. She did that quite often.
My family liked that, but I have an issue with bread and getting wet, so I can eat chicken and dumplings. I don't like wet bread. So like I'm not a huge pancake fan.
I love
'Cause it
pancakes
gets-
though.
Yeah, I'm not a huge pancake fan because it gets too
My-
soggy too fast.
My mom would like fry everything. She had like one of those big deep fryers, and if it didn't fit in the deep fryer, she would cut it up till it did. Everything was fried, it seemed. But
That's
there were some really great things that she would just slap together, like after like Thanksgiving or something. If you had like a lot of leftover mashed potatoes and leftover like corn from Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that, she would mix them together, the corn and the mashed potatoes, and then just put a spoonful in like a pan with some bacon grease in it, and basically make like little hush puppy kind of things. That was
Oh, that would be so good. Thank you for
Potatoes
that
and
idea.
corn. That was
Because I do
great.
that that's how I eat my mashed potatoes and corn. I always mix them. Always. I don't ever eat them apart.
He is
They
good.
always go together. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try that. That's gonna be good. I bet that's good. I
Really.
never thought about that.
You could do it like a patty, I guess, if you wanted to. But
Yeah.
she always just did like a spoonful and just whacked it into the skillet and let it go.
Oh wow. I'm gonna try that, Enzo. Thank you. I'll let you know how it tastes.
You're
I
gonna like-
know this lady that I used to work with, she used to make this corn casserole, or is I think what she called it, but it was like cornbread, but it had creamed corn in it, and it was so good. And I've tried to make it so many times and I've never been able to do it, and I don't know why, because it seems like something that should be so easy to make. But it's like really good.
Like corn chowder?
It's like cornbread, but it has creamed corn in it and cheese, and so and
Yum.
you just cut it into little bread. It's good. It's so good, but I can't ever get it right, so I don't know.
cornbread and beans was a common staple at my house growing up too. Beans with a little bit of onion, a little bit of some kind of pig fat of some type, whether it's bacon or a ham hock or whatever it is in there.
Mhm.
So it gets a
Yeah,
little
my family
flavor.
had that too. And then my mom used to make, sometimes she would make what she called chicken fried steak, but it was like round steak, it was like tenderized or whatever, and she would fry that with mashed potatoes and peas. That was one of my favorite meals too.
I just
I
don't
know,
like
I'm
peas.
hungry. You don't like peas? I do. I like peas. I like pretty much
Fine.
all vegetables except for mushrooms, I think. I wish I liked mushrooms because they're good for you.
They tried, my parents remember a couple of years would try like turnips and just slice them up raw as like a little vegetable kind of medley plate kind of a thing with radishes and some hunks of turnip in there and stuff like that. Just eat them raw. This is like a side thing.
Turnip isn't the red thing, right? That's a beet. What's that? Oh, okay. That's like,
Beets are like the purplish kind of red color, and they didn't do so much beets, but turnip, it kind of looks purplish like on the bottom, and then it's white on the top, and it's a root. It's got big
oh yeah, okay.
the
What
turnip.
does that taste like?
Like a
It
radish,
tastes
right?
a little bit. It's a little like a less spicy radish. A radish has a little bit of a tad of a burn to it, kind of a flavor.
Hmm.
But turnip were just a little more plain, but they get big. They get really big, so you can make a lot out of it.
I've never had a turnip. I've never had a beet. I've never had eggplant. I've never
Eggplant's
had,
good.
We did a lot of cucumbers too, where they would make their own. Parents would make their own pickles. That
Oh, that's
yum.
and they
Yeah.
make a batch of pickles, for
My-
later in the
Mm.
year, kind of a thing.
My Sybil used to make sweet pickles. They were so good. She made the most delicious sweet pickles.
I've always thought, like, because you can grow most of the stuff we just talked about, like in a 5-gallon bucket on your back porch, kind of a thing.
Right.
You grow some tomatoes, some onions, some peppers. You can make your own salsa, as spicy or not, whatever you want in
Right.
it, with whatever you grow right there, and be set for a long time. because tomato doesn't take a lot of tomatoes. Tomatoes, you'll be swimming in tomatoes pretty quick if you plant a lot of plants. But that's actually one of the things my mother did in later years when I was living at home was what do they call those things where it just grinds everything? You put vegetables and stuff in it, it just grinds it down to
A food processor
yeah, I guess that's what it would be, or like a juicer or
or a
something.
juicer?
But she would basically make her own version of like a V8 juice with a lot of like leftover stuff at the
Oh, that's awesome.
and then can it, kind of a thing, and then then she'd mix it with vodka later on. But
That's smart.
it was basically her own version of V8 juice from fresh stuff right out of the garden.
Well, that was probably very healthy, actually.
Yeah.
And I have a juicer too. I didn't think about juicing my stuff.
Yeah,
Huh,
mix it all together,
right?
different combinations, find out what works, what's good, and what's not.
I want to get a dehydrator too because I want to dehydrate stuff. Because I feel like if I dehydrate like blueberries or something, and then I can pulverize it into a blueberry powder, and then I can use it for flavoring things. Blueberry flavor, like that's real.
You could.
So that's what
Go
they should
simpler
do.
if you don't want. You can get those vacuum seal bags and put stuff in the freezer with those, and that way it never gets freezer burnt. It'll last for practically forever, as long as that
Right.
seal doesn't get busted open. And you just thaw it out, and you've got all your vegetables or berries or whatever it is you put in there. You're good to go.
Yeah. You know what else would be cool to have is some like a machine that like freeze dries things. You know, like the freeze dried candy.
They make those. They're like really big and they're very expensive. They use a
I
lot of
know.
electricity. But you can certainly, make your own kind of anything, because you could put almost anything, even like pre-prepared stuff. That's most of what those mountain home just add water kind of things. I'm sure you've seen
Mhm.
campers and hikers and stuff like that use survival food. That's all
Right.
it is like regular, spaghetti and meat sauce that they've run through the dehydrator where it just absorbs all the moisture out of it, seal it up in a, container where no moisture can get at it. And at some point, like, cause those like
I
mountain
wonder
house,
if you could do that, people. Dehydrate them and then rehydrate them later. Maybe that's how we'll do space travel.
Ooh, that's crazy.
Wait, isn't that kind of how the people they did that in that one movie, Three Body Problem, or that one show? Isn't
three
that
body
kinda how
problem is exactly what I was
Oh,
thinking. That's what they did there.
They would like,
I think
yeah,
because like if you watch like the Netflix thing, which is what I did, I don't know any spoilers. I haven't read the book or anything like that, but I get the feeling that those aliens, they have to be like really tiny, like microscopic almost, to be able to do that. Because you can't dehydrate like a human and then rehydrate them later and they'd still be alive, kind of a thing.
why
But
not? Oh, why not? Just kidding.
because we're
Yara, I
it's
getting my cycle
way
on
too organized. It's very much like if you did that with strawberries, or if you have any of those other things, like any more like complex, like you have to get it to dehydrate right. All like those mountain house things that you can buy at the camping store, all like the chicken or whatever it is that's in there is chopped up in little teeny tiny little cubes because that's the only way
Right.
to get it to properly dehydrate.
Right, because
The-
it has to all the different tissues in a person's body dehydrate differently, probably at different rates
Right.
and things.
You
So
couldn't,
yeah,
that's not something you could do with a
No.
more complex life form like that.
Right.
Although it sounds easy, that's why I think those aliens in that three body problem, they must be tiny, like microscopic animal kind of things.
Mhm. I wonder
Which
if that show's
now
even
are
going to have a second. Is it going to have a second season?
Oh yeah, they will. That's
Is it?
for its origin and stuff like that. For that story, the three body problem, which was written by a Chinese author many years ago, super popular. A ton of
Oh.
people have read it. It's a best-selling book all across the world because of the story of how it was all built up and stuff like that. So it's just a good story.
I wonder if that guy behind you is trying to be like the guy from Saturday Night Live that did that, or if he dances like that. No, the guy in the light blue shirt next to him, he was doing that. Like, you remember that skit with those guys on Saturday Night Live where their heads did that?
Dun, dun,
Yeah.
Night at the
Yeah, he was,
Roxbury.
yeah, he was doing that. Yeah, Night at the Roxbury. That's what it was. That was a good old day, Saturday Night Live, back when it was funny.
Yep,
It's
back
not
when it
the
was
same
funny.
anymore.
But now I can't watch it because I know they all eat babies. So
Right. Well, it's just not even the same anymore. It's not that great.
right.
It really does seem like the whole entertainment biz the last like dozen years just forgot how to be entertaining. They forgot how to be funny. They forgot how to tell good stories. They all that.
Right.
The
They forgot how
brand
to
new
sing.
Snow White movie's getting ready to come out, and it's going to crater like all the other movies that have come out in the last 4 or 5 years.
My
Because-
daughter asked me if I've seen that trailer, but I haven't. Is it weird?
Which one?
One thing that I noticed in Disney movies that I kind of don't, I guess it's because they're trying to be the diversity thing, but something I just don't get it is like all of a sudden they started having like the characters that are related weren't the same race. I didn't understand that.
Yeah, a lot of
Oh.
race swapping, all stuff like that from original characters.
Well, like the mom would be Chinese and the dad would be like African American, and then and I was like, what?
But somehow their kid is like
White, white kid. Yeah.
That's not how that works. Just so you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that kind of stuff. As far as like our entertainment, the last several years, it's like they've lost the ability to tell a good story, and give out something that's not insulting to the viewer. Where it's like, wait a minute,
Right.
F is this? You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the entertainment industry has definitely changed. Well, I guess everything has changed. Everything is different.
That's why you get
So-
shows that are made like overseas. I mean, we just talked about Three Body Problem. That's Chinese in its origin. Great story, and it's
What
good.
are you doing?
I know my husband watches
To
like
say about this entertainment segment, yeah,
he watches Korean shows and stuff too, like all the time.
and
So they must be more interesting.
Squid Game. I never imagined I would ever sit down and watch a TV show called Squid Game.
And
But
it's horrible. The premise of that movie is
I
just
know
pure
it
evil.
is so crazy, but
That's a pretty good show though.
it
It's
really
not,
is.
dude. It's not. I was like, I can't even sit here and watch it. I was like, this is horrible. Like, they're killing people for fun.
But- And there's people in there, even from like the first. I don't think the second season is as good as like the first season. It's one of those shows that's a one and done, one season, and that's it. Because
Right.
it's then you're going to get complicated if you start going into the second season and stuff like that. And I don't think it's as good, but we'll see. The second half of the second season will come up later this year at some point. But anyways, like the first season, you see these people that are down on their luck and they're like, hey, all you got to do if you sign up for this thing, you just got to play these simple games, and not realizing, oh crap, they will kill you, put a bullet in you, kind of a dead. And but there's that greed factor and stuff. It's like, oh, I survived the first wave. I mean, it's just a simple little kid game. How bad could the second one be? And then I can jump out, I'll get like a little bit of money. But then they get greedy, and then they think they get, their arrogance starts coming in, and when they get on the winning side of a couple of games and stuff like it's a very interesting psychological kind of.
Yeah, the first one went over a lot better than the second season.
I think that
Yeah,
was
I haven't
because it was
watched the
so
second one.
radically different
Yeah.
that you had no concept of what to expect or what was going on, kind of a thing. And that's why it went over so big, because it was so different from anything that anyone's ever seen. This weird, it's not even like gladiator games, because there's like these simple little kid games. I would have lost the little taking the needle and carving out the little sugar thing. I'd have been screwed. Even if it was just a circle, I'd have been screwed. But Just even like the most basic one that they start with is, that red light, green light thing. And then if you're still moving, bop, 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 you're like,
Oh yeah,
oh, wait a
yeah,
minute.
that would suck. That would suck
Eh,
for sure.
kinda
That's
What are
fake
you
cigar.
smoking? A cigar? Oh, it's a fake cigar.
You see the smoke coming out of like
Where'd you
Wow.
get a fake cigar?
from that party we went to in California. They had a whole bunch of them, but there's like powder on it. But I think I blew it all off. But it's a
Oh.
totally fake cigar.
Oh, you remember those fake cigarettes that you used to smoke? Like they had powder in them or whatever.
Yep.
Sure.
That's
They were
crazy
dumb,
that
right?
they used to sell fake
Cigarettes when you're a
cigarettes, huh?
kid. Here, kids, here's candy cigarettes to give you like the
Right.
adults.
I know, that's crazy. They used to have candy cigarettes. Like that's like having like a crack pipe or something nowadays. That's weird. They used to encourage smoking. Was there ever a time when they said smoking was good for you? Probably.
Oh yeah, back in like the 50s and 60s, is like yes, it elevates your heart rate and it makes it's good for you.
Right, and they had like radioactive gum, and like when
Yeah.
Madame Curie first like started discovered radioactivity or whatever, they would like use for a night light. And like
Yep.
they had radioactive toothpaste and
Yeah, there was stuff like, I mean, like World War II, they would put like the radium on the aircraft instruments so they'd kind of glow in the dark and they could see it at night without actually turning the lights on and giving away their position, kind of a thing on
right.
aircraft and stuff like that. But what they didn't tell like the like banks of women that were building these things in these factories is they would take like they had a little paintbrush that they would dip in the radium to put on the very tips, and of course to get accurate, they would
Oh
lick
gosh.
the end. They would lick the end of the paintbrush so it would come to a point, but they're
Right.
basically just putting radium directly onto
Right.
the tongue.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
they died horrifically.
Yeah.
Which is a really like direct way to get it right into your bloodstream is like on your
Yep.
tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot we didn't know. There's actually a lot of places where they still don't understand how radioactive stuff can just kill you right away quick. And even today, there's groups that like don't even think anything, like in a certain Eastern European place where they're shelling a nuclear power plant that went into the most severe meltdown we've ever seen, and they're still bombing that place and stuff like that as a tactical target.
No.
Yeah.
Sound can kill us. Like people don't realize that either. There's a lot like it's crazy
Sound?
to think about sound. Yeah, sound. Because like if you have something and you have its resonant frequency and then you match its resonant frequency with that same frequency, it falls apart, doesn't it? Or yeah. So like, couldn't you do that to people?
Yeah, there's a lot of skullduggery as far as like aiming frequencies, that's unseen. You can't hear it, you can't see it, you don't know what's
Right.
happening, but you start getting the splitting. I mean, we can go like they do actually have a crowd control weapon that uses what's
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
the brown note, which it's a specific frequency that will make you poop your pants.
Oh shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally.
Exactly. But because it's striking your body and creating such a resonant frequency in your body where you just like lose your bowel movement.
That's horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of guys are familiar with that one because it's one of those things like, I'm going to build one of those in the garage and shoot the guy across the street with it just to laugh, kind of a thing. But it is a thing that is out there. There's
It worries me because
where there's different frequencies that basically your own brain kind of becomes your own enemy, where you could just have this overwhelming sense of fear and dread where it's like, I don't want to be here. Oh my God, I'm in extreme danger sitting here. So you like would run away to get away from it, kind of, while there's some guy with a little like parabolic microphone kind of projector thing aiming it at you, kind of, and making you super scared and to the point where you would run away. It's a crowd. They use it like as a crowd control kind of thing at that level. But who
They
knows
do
what
use
other
it
kind of
too. I
wacky.
just saw a
Right.
video.
It's like if they can do that, who knows what else people are using things like that for. But like, so there's this sound that like my husband and I thought it was somebody's like house alarm or something going off. And like, how come nobody's coming? Like, because it went off for like hours. Well, the other day I was outside and it was doing it again. And I'm like, what is that sound? Like, I can hear it and it's like super loud and annoying. And I'm all, why is nobody else? So it made me wonder if I'm hearing something that other people aren't hearing or something.
There's
Or
certain things that a
something.
lot of people just tune out. Car alarms is one of them. And we probably all know someone or have watched a video, like a panel video like this, where someone on the video, their smoke detector in their house is chirping.
Oh yeah, beep.
Yep. Ceiling birds is every like 60
I left
seconds.
mine like that for a year one time.
Yeah, you get used to it. You don't think anything about it. Someone from outside of your, what you're used to comes in. They're like, "What is that? I'm going to rip the whole place apart."
And my
Right?
mom would get so irritated. Like as soon as it started, she would have my dad up there changing it. But
Well,
I didn't.
same. But outside, it's like, what is that noise? It's just constant, like a high. It's hard to explain, but I'm all. Then I was thinking because they have all these big poles, white poles with those signs everywhere that say, this from this point and beyond, the signals or whatever are deemed by the FCC to be damaging to the public are greater, or what it basically says that anybody around the box is getting very slowly cooked from the inside out.
Yep.
And it says that everywhere around us, like in the city, like everywhere, like right in the middle of very busy parking lots. And so I'm wondering if I'm hearing, like, because I know that a lot of people think it's a conspiracy or people think it's whatever silly, but I do believe that 5G is not good for our body. I believe the signals are not good for us.
There certainly are things that we use today that they're like my example would be I went to a base in Saudi Arabia. There was like well away from like where the flight line area was. There were like a couple trailers set up and this big like 12-foot wide satellite dish that was like angled in such a way that it was like almost vertical with the horizon kind of a thing. And the story was, and I believe it, was a Saudi Arabia like guard would have to make his rounds around this building, and he discovered that if he hung out around where that satellite dish was, he didn't get as cold. It would be actually like this weird warm spot. It was a microwave antenna, and he was literally getting cooked from the inside out. He did die.
Oh no.
But he thought, oh, this actually feels kind of nice. If I stand right here, there's like a little bit of heat. So he just stand there and just get it. It was literally like if you ran a microwave oven with the door ripped off of it, where it's just
right
at you. That's basically what was happening to this dude. And over time, basically his whole insides just got literally microwaved and nuked to the point where there was so much damage. He was like, "Sorry, she's gonna die. There's nothing we can do at this stage." But
oh my gosh.
Again, one of those, you can't see it. You might know, oh, it's kind of nice if I sit right here because it's cold at night in the desert. And he ended up cooking himself. So it's things that you don't know what's like we talked earlier about, completely unaware of what radioactivity does to you. And this is a little different, but it's ionizing radiation where it's radio frequencies and things like that are concentrated. That if you get near it, you will get cooked from the inside out like that.
So why if there's like if things like that can happen if you're using like certain types of signals and why would you broadcast it on a large scale towards people?
For that particular instance, it was a military base out in the middle of nowhere. And this microwave link was basically going to another base that was like several miles away that had their own antenna that was basically it was ultra Wi-Fi kind of a thing where it's beaming this microwave signal to another microwave receiver several miles away to communicate back and forth without actually running copper cables several
Right.
miles and all that other stuff. And because it was a foreign country, we have rules against that kind of stuff in the United States where you would have posted off areas where no one would want to stand in front of it and warm themselves up on a cold, winter's night kind of a thing in the desert, where they didn't have that kind of thing there in Saudi Arabia. So this poor dude just got clobbered.
Right.
There's any kind of large scale like radio operation. As far as the United States go, we have very specific. These are your danger areas. You can't be around. Work because I used to work on aircraft. The aircraft radar system. It's gone through many different generations of what's good and what's bad, kind of a thing. But for the most part, like the very nose of the aircraft, you always have like that black radome in the very nose part of it, which it can be painted different colors and stuff like that. But that's where the radar is underneath of it. You stand within 25 to 30 feet of that while it's running full power. It's going to be the same thing like the Guard I was talking about in Saudi Arabia. You're going to get cooked from the inside out. Because
really?
Yeah, putting out, it's radar. It's sending out a signal to bounce off, like if it's just a simple weather radar, to bounce off of clouds and stuff like that are 40 miles away and tell you where it's at, kind of a thing. So you can.
Yeah. So
it's a pretty strong signal.
So they have radar everywhere. So are they hitting us with those rays when they're trying to read the clouds?
No, when they use it, it's it's one of those, if you're standing right next to it, you may be in danger. But like in the United States, a lot of those, like if you go to your local airport, you'll see like these large towers along one side that has like this white golf ball sphere looking thing on top of the tower. That's the radar tower, basically, where there's a weather radar that's spinning around in there, taking readings in the local area, but it's way off of the ground. You basically need to be within, depending on what it is and how strong it is. And they've actually made giant strides to make them less hazardous to ground people. But even then, basically they build them up on high towers that are like 30 feet high or whatever. So basically you're not in that range where you're going to get instantly cooked if you're just hanging out there, kind of a. So there's in the US they do things to help prevent it.
That's interesting.
So
you know what?
Yeah. What?
I just thought of something. I can't believe I haven't told Susie about something that I saw on a video. So there's a lady, I don't know her name and I don't know what it's called, what she does, but she takes like a big petri dish of water and then she puts a word in it. The water, like creation, okay? And then she has this machine that crystallizes it, the water, like it does whatever, and it builds crystals. And what she's found is that the crystal pattern in words is the same, and she's repeated it. So like there's a pattern for, so she's like, this is what creation looks like, and she shows you the pattern that the crystals made. And she's like, and here's the 67 other examples that she did on another petri dish, and here's what it looks like grown in a petri dish, and it's literally the same pattern for that word.
It's the experiment that shows that water holds memory and emotion.
Well, she's also she thinks there's a language. There's because there's I don't know how she explained. I'll have to find her name, but she's having like a webinar in December, I think, with all these people where they're going to talk about like ancient stuff, biogeology. So the guy that does the heart stones, because there's a chiropractor in Spain who believes that a lot of rocks are like petrified biology, which I agree with him a lot. He's going to be on there. Yeah, I'll find it because you would be super interested in that. I forgot that.
Because I think it's fascinating, and people don't believe it. People think water's just water, but you have to. Your water can hear you, dude. So you should tell it, water, please plenish my body and hydrate me, and thank you so much for keeping me alive. And
well, not
I
just
love
that, but like there's a pattern that's made and created by like certain words. So like how the windows in a cathedral resonate a certain sound or frequency. It's like
it's all healing. It all works together, and when it's all together, water, the stained glass, the bells, the pipe organs, chimes, all of these things work together, and you can heal somebody. There's no reason why we should have cancer, you guys. This is what bothers me, because I've lost a lot of people to cancer, and cancer is a scary thing in everybody's life, and it doesn't even need to be here. There's cures.
They have it here on purpose. It makes too much money.
That's what makes it even worse, is that they're doing it to us on purpose. And I want to cuss so bad. I want to say something bad about it.
It's all about the money. Oh, I need to plug my computer. It's about to die. Hang on a second. I'll be right back.
There is like something to be said for like that hermit style, lifestyle of like, I just don't want to deal with any of this. I'm going to live out in the middle of the desert in my little patch of property at the end of the road where nobody bothers me, and I
totally understand that now. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's too much when you start figuring stuff out and realizing how much influence over your life that totally unnamed people that don't even know who you are, but will try to control you.
Yeah,
right.
That's not cool. That's not cool at all. And then when you try to think of ways that like maybe you can circumvent something by doing something, they make up laws and rules against things. Like you can't, like it's illegal to catch rainwater. It's like, what?
That is so bananas. I can't believe there's a place on the planet that would capture your own rainwater.
I know. It's like that doesn't even make any sense. Like, who said you owned the rainwater? Like, I'm pretty sure God owned that, and it said I can have some. So,
I'm pretty sure that God said we could live on this earth.
If the water came from a place that didn't reside on a piece of like somewhere on this planet that's owned by somebody, I don't see how it can even be illegal to capture it, because it's not nobody owns it. It comes from the sky. But oh wait, I forgot. They own the airspace. My bad.
Right. And then it comes down to because you could certainly say to yourself or even online where it's like, yeah, prove that you have some claim on this stuff falling out of the sky. And they're like, we'll take you to court. They've got way better lawyers than you do. And you're going to get screwed in the end if you don't have somebody that will give you financial backing to combat their stupid, crazy lawyers, which, you could win, but not if you don't invest money into it. So, and that's why people don't get mixed up into it, because it's just too much money in the long run to go to court to say the water that falls out of the sky over my house is free. No one owns that.
Right.
And if they really wanted to, because we already know how nefarious they are, so if they really wanted to, they could make your life a living hell. So that's why people don't bother doing anything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they can also just unalive you.
Yep.
That goes both ways.
That's why people don't invent things, because you get unalived. If I ever invent something, I'm gonna just release it for free.
On regular water, and there's
that guy's dead.
Yeah, he literally died, and his last words were, "They poisoned me." So yeah.
guys that develop
How-
carburetors
do-
that
It's like,
get 100 miles per
how-
gallon. Oh, gone.
and
Right.
how can that not be part of the like evidence or whatever when they determine how that guy died? How is his statement, "They poisoned me," not considered? Like, hello, like the dude, like, why would you wouldn't say that if that,
Well,
like,
the
as they
question,
died?
the line of questioning, of course, would be, who's they? Who is he talking about when he says they? He didn't actually say that because he
Oh
was
yeah,
lying.
that's true.
So, yeah, who is it he's talking about? Is it, someone down at the patent office? Is it somebody?
I wonder if the guys that he had dinner with were like, "This was it's not me, was it you?"
Yeah.
He was like with people that he was eating with or whatever. So that's unfortunate. It's a good thing I'm not smart enough to invent anything.
You are.
I tell my husband all the time though that so I can make clay, that I can make us a tray or whatever to hold our food so we'll never starve because we'll always have something to eat on. It's like that doesn't make sense. Makes sense to me. And then I told him I could
Because you
build
have
us
a
a
plate
house.
doesn't mean you'll have food to put on it.
Right. Yeah, he pointed that out. But I was like, well, still. I said, well, still, we'll have something to eat on. And I said, and we'll have
You
something.
could make a
and-
pitcher to capture the rainwater that is free, and you could always have something to drink.
Yes,
So,
that is true. And I can also, my clay actually captured, well, because there's moisture in it before it's fired or whatever, but I left a pot outside or whatever, and I left it in a bag, and when I opened it, there was water inside the pot. So I was like, "Oh, I know how to make water."
The condensation or what?
Yeah, it was condensation. So I was all, just need to make some clay, and hopefully I'll have a plastic bag. I was like, oh, it'd be kind of hard to make clay though without something to separate the soil particles. But I don't know. I think I could make a pretty good mud house if I had to, and so we'll always have a place to stay.
I feel like I could make a shelter if I was like stranded out in the desert or the forest.
I could. My brother and I used to make shelters all the time when we'd go wood cutting.
Hmm.
that's a useful skill. I mean, you
Yeah.
never know when you're going to need it. I mean, I've considered this is how my tinfoil hat persona is there's certain things that I'll investigate, probably more so once I get the van. Mark the calendar. I mentioned van. But there's a lot of people, missing 411, and people get abducted, and there's a million other things where people just vanish.
Right.
Where do they go? Are they disappearing to one of these parallel dimensions where, there's nothing, it's just wildlife, there's no like civilization or other humans or anything like that? You'd have to figure out pretty quickly to survive, building a basic shelter, coming up with water, coming up with food, a lot of things like that in that kind of scenario where it's like I'm no longer on the same plane of existence I was. I need to figure out how to survive.
That'd
Kind
be
of a thing.
crazy.
Much
Have
less.
you ever felt like you jumped timelines?
Sort of within a like super limited kind of a thing where,
Yeah.
there was one day in high school where 'cause I had like this really weird schedule when I was in high school for one of the my junior year where Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays I was in this class, and Tuesdays and Thursdays I was in this class, during the same time frame and whatever. And there was a day where I was 99.99% convinced this is Wednesday. I need to go to this thing. And I show up and they're like, what are you doing here? This is like Thursday. What? What are you talking about?
Weird.
No, it's Tuesday. But it was one of those things where it still bothers me today. This was in like 1983 or 4. And it still bothers me to this day that this schedule that I'd been on for quite a while, so I knew what day I needed to be where and blah, 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 blah. And suddenly, for some reason, it was like it skipped a day,
That's weird.
which I had no knowledge of what happened like the previous day that somehow is now missing. Did I do my homework? I don't know for that other day.
That is really
None of
weird,
this-
Enza.
It was super crazy, and I couldn't explain it. It's one of those things that's bothered me my entire life. That one day one instance where it was like I somehow skipped a day somehow. I can't explain.
Well, like last night at poker, I had a full house because I had a 10 and a queen, and there was whatever I had. And there was okay. So, and I turned my cards up and showed everybody, and everybody said I had something else, and I said no, I have a queen and a 10, and everybody else said no, you don't. That's not a queen and a 10, and it was the weirdest thing, and I don't know what happened. I don't know. I just gave up because everybody was getting on me, but. What the hell, man? I could see that what I had. I know what I had, and they're like, "No, that's not a 10." It was really weird. But also,
Like that
I
should
did
be able
eat
to.
a gummy before I went to poker, so there's that.
Well,
You did what?
I ate a gummy, a 200.
Oh,
Was it 200? It was that kind that Shelly gave me that one time when I thought, "Do people die from this?" Remember?
yeah. She was,
people
oh,
die from this.
she's like, can people die from this? She was afraid she was going to go to sleep and not wake up. Yeah, it might have been a gummy.
Maybe, but man, I
Maybe.
don't know why the hell. I was trying to tell them. I was like, "Look," and nobody
What
would
did-
hear me.
what?
That was the weirdest thing. I was like, "Forget it. I'm going to smoke a cigarette."
Huh. That's weird.
But honestly, that's how it is when something like super weird like that happens. It's like, you should have been able to like, what card is this that I just picked up in front of me? It's a queen. Okay. What card is this? It's a 10. It's like, okay, let's go from there. That
Right.
kind of thing. But there's something weird where other people don't perceive what it is you're seeing as
Yeah,
the same
it was
thing.
weird.
Oh, that happens to me on a daily basis all the time. Oh, so much.
Yeah, it did start happening to me a lot when I was like when I was at very first like making a lot of changes when I was healing and when I was like going through a spiritual awakening. That was happening to me a lot, but it stopped happening, and that was weird that it happened again.
Well, it happens to me a lot with stuff I see, and my family just doesn't ever see what I see. I'll be like, "Do you see that? Like that totally looks like," and they're like, "No," and I'm like, "You don't see that because it looks like so obvious
They
to me."
kind of like do that to me too. They just kind of like yeah me, or like what's the word? Like they just kind of like
They'll
okay,
agree with you just to avoid arguing. about it.
yeah, because they don't
It
care.
makes me feel like I have some kind of a weird disease where I
Hell
see
yeah, it
things
makes me feel
differently.
terrible when they do that. My whole fucking
No, I
family
need
does that.
somebody to tell me they see it. Like I see it because I'm like I'm a
Are you
smart.
agreeing just to avoid an argument?
Yeah, I'm like, how come you can't? I don't know. I feel like people tell me they don't see things even though they do see it, and I'm like, why are you lying to
I
me?
think they do that too. They just don't want to listen to me. They don't want to. People don't want to go any. In my family, nobody wants to go any deeper than surface level on anything.
Yeah,
And I mean, I understand that. Maybe I used to be that way also. But the thing is, I'm not that way anymore, and it's hard for me not to be all that I am now. You know what I mean? I can't go back. I can't like become aloof again after I'm not aloof, And so like it's really hard. I don't mean to make them feel like shit, but everything I say is purposeful. Everything I say is meaningful. Everything I do is purposeful. And I'm not doing it to be an asshole. I promise. I'm not I'm not doing it to be an asshole. I'm not doing it to make anybody else feel bad. It's just something that happened to me, and now this is the way I am. So it was really hard for
I
my
think
family.
that's probably why I don't talk a lot. I don't say a lot anymore. because
Well, don't do that. Don't quiet down because they don't know what
well,
they're doing.
because you
I
have to
still
know
keep
who your
talking.
audience is, you know, like when you're talking to
There is that,
people.
yeah.
So like
That's true.
I just don't even say, or else I'd scare everybody away. They'd be like, "Ooh, that
You're
lady."
right, Jared. You're all right. Um, if someone's not listening, just stop talking. I guess you're right.
I mean, you don't have to stop talking, but I'm like, I know
Stop
that this
talking to them.
person wants to hear. Well, I don't stop talking to them. I just don't talk to them about stuff they don't want me to talk to them about, or stuff that I know that they won't understand, or that there's no way that I can. I just don't even bother, like, because there's like, I don't know, there's so many things that are, especially, and for me too, because I'm new to all the stuff that I think I'm learning, or that I might believe, or whatever. It's new. It's not anything anybody like that I know told me. So I can't just talk about that with people, or else people would be like, "What the fuck?" So I just don't say much. I just observe and don't say much.
Well, unfortunately, we live in a world where it's easier. There's certain things that I feel everyone sees or perceives some of these like super weird things that are going on around them, but they intentionally choose to ignore it because it's easier
Yeah.
to then trying to figure out like mysteries of the universe type of stuff. It's like, why the F is this doing this and that,
Mhm.
all these other things where it's like, I just need to go to the store and buy some eggs. That's all I'm trying to
Right.
do
Right.
is
That's all
try
they
to
want
go
to
to
do.
the store.
And maybe that's their purpose. Maybe they're here to just be that way. And that's okay. But it's also okay for me to be this way.
I feel
But
it's partially kind of like a survival instinct, to be honest, where it's like,
it probably is.
I need to go out and get food for the family kind of a thing. So I'm going to, ignore the silver disc floating in the sky when I see at the intersection while I'm, waiting for the light to turn green kind of a thing.
Well, we've all been programmed too to what's important.
So,
They've kind of programmed us too to not,
Yeah, they did.
to not believe
right,
certain
because
ways.
you end up getting shamed because you're trying to explain something that they probably perceive too, but they willfully ignore.
Right.
So that you're now left where you're the crazy one because you're actually aware of what's going on around you. Where someone else they may have seen or are aware that there's something kind of strange there, but they've got this filter in their head that's like that just it's easier just to ignore that, to push that out of the way, to go about my daily business of doing whatever it is I'm trying to do versus trying to say, what in the crap is that thing in the sky or whatever it is that they're observing that if they tell their friends about it are going to just make fun of them, say that they're a crazy person. So
Mhm.
they just let it slide. And
Right.
I feel there's like wacky stuff like that happens to everybody all the time, but we have this built-in filter in our head that ignores it. Some people get super tuned into it and at least observe it, and most of them won't say anything to anyone else. Maybe their closest friends that won't understand. Well,
Yeah.
may say something, but it's one of those things that it happens all the time. We're just not even aware of it.
Right. Right. Righto. Well, I am going to make a scene, not the kind that is like I'm gonna make a scene. What do you call it, Susie? What do you call it in a box? The thing that you make in a
The
box?
shadow box.
A shadow box.
Yeah. I'll give
I'm
you
gonna
that
make
shadow
a
box
scene.
tomorrow.
Okay. That's funny. I say things wrong a lot. I'm gonna make a shadow box of I don't know. something with
She wanted
curves.
me to use those boxes and take it back to her shop and sell them there. So I don't know if you like it a lot, if you're gonna keep it, or you could take it back to her to sell it.
No, I would
But
take
she
it back
doesn't.
to her to sell it. I would take it back to her to sell it for sure.
What if it comes out really cool and you don't want to?
Well, if it comes out really
That
cool, I
might
want to
happen.
sell it. I'm all I want to sell. Hopefully it will. I need to have a garage sale or get rid of some stuff though. All kinds of stuff I need to get rid of. I need to spring clean before it gets too hot outside.
I'm not looking forward to that heat.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's
I
been
kind of
so
like it. I like
beautiful.
it. I like the heat, but I also like the heat. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm getting older. My body has not been cooperating lately with me, so we'll have to see. I'm getting older.
That's what happens when you get older. It doesn't do what you like.
Yeah. I'm like, my back hurts just from standing up. Like, seriously, that sucks. That sucks bad. I need to strengthen my back muscles. Yep. Everybody. Well, so Susie and I were talking about having a short show tonight because we forgot about the time change. So you're 2 hours.
We're gonna go on an earlier time so that you're not What time do you think, Shara?
It is midnight right now for me.
Right
now. So
we could go on at 7.
7. So what time would
you
it
can
be?
do whatever you like. Don't worry about me. I'll certainly show up as long as you throw me the invite.
You're always invited.
We always want to have consideration for you.
I didn't realize tonight when you sent me the link that it was like, we're going live right now. It's like,
I know.
Oh yeah.
I thought I had a few minutes. That's why. Like, all right, I'll go get myself a drink downstairs and some ice for my drink. And
I was making that dinner and I got carried away with it because it
got
came
a
out
shirt
really
out
good.
of the catalog of shirts that I have and think, oh, they're already live. Damn. Okay. I guess I'll just show up now.
Yeah, so we'll do next week at 7.
Okay,
7.
let's start that next week at 7.
So, I was going to say to the one person who's watching us, but they're not there anymore, make sure you come back at 7 next Tuesday. At 7.
Yeah.
At 7. But I'm going to eat dinner because I haven't eaten yet.
Right. I'm going to get off too because I had so much, like, I was doing like 10 different things right before the show. So I want to get that done because I'm kind of tired too. I kind of look tired too.
I'm going to make some of those cakes tomorrow. You don't look tired.
Oh, I feel tired. Oh, because, well, you know what? Maybe I'm still tired from that gummy yesterday. Oh my gosh.
Maybe, probably.
It's quite the gummy if it's still 24 hours later.
Is it snowing inside their bar?
They have this guy has a bubble gun. If you see he's got a gun right there with the bubbles.
I was like, it's snowing in there. Oh, that's
how
a girl.
fun is that?
How
She's
fun. I love bubbles. Bubbles are awesome.
I know.
I want to make a big bubble, like a big bubble with a rope.
Oh, that guy's something else. Yeah.
I'm going to do that someday. One of these days.
One of these days, we're going to see somebody break out in a fight right there.
I am surprised that hasn't happened yet because this is the one. Yeah, this is in Fort Lauderdale. So
I've never seen a bar fight ever in my life. So I don't know. Do they happen often?
It depends on what's going on, I guess. There's
I've been in 3 times already in my lifetime. I've been in 3.
You've been in 3 bar fights?
You started
in the fight?
Yeah.
You started the fight?
I didn't start it.
But
I would never. I don't think I would ever be in a fight in public because they'd have to beat me. Like they'd have to beat an unwilling participant. So I won't fight.
I was a whole different person before. I'm like different now.
All right, everybody.
Okay, guys. Good night, skis.
Good night.
My house is gonna smell like farts and cabbage tonight.
Yum.
Yummy. Okay, let me get where I need to be, and I want to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you for joining us, Enzo. Thank you, Jera. I
Yes,
love you
thank you.
guys. Pieces. Hit the like
Join us
and
earlier
subscribe,
next week.
and we will be here at 7 next Tuesday.
7.
Good night.
Good night.